Let's talk a little bit about the Sunday night game last week, the Buccaneers and the Patriots. You know, that was a game that was, gosh, I mean, it was hyped so much. The return of Tom Brady to Gillette Stadium. In fact, Tom Brady even admitted that he was probably more nervous for that game than he was for any other, because he was going back to a place where there were so many people that had touched his life and that he touched their life and so forth and so on. In fact, the story came out that his wife on Friday, the Friday before the game, of course they flew to New England on Saturday, his wife took the kids and went away for the entire day so that he could be by himself all day Friday and focus on the game coming up. So I thought that was kind of interesting. It was a really good football game. Tom Brady is Tom Brady, but I got to give Belichick credit. I mean, they threw so many different defenses at Brady, and it wasn't so much that Brady didn't recognize them. It was they changed every play. Brady could never get a true read about what they were going to do in certain situations, right? And that's what makes Tom Brady so good. Once he figures out what you're doing, you're done, okay? And they changed it enough and in ways that maybe confused him just enough where he had to make his reads post-snap as opposed to pre-snap. He had a good game, but he missed a lot of throws, Brady. But he did lead them down for the game-winning field goal, and then, of course, the Patriots missed a 56-yard field goal that would have won it for them. But I was really impressed with the rookie quarterback, Mac Jones. I mean, they didn't ask him to throw the ball downfield very much, but he looked like the same plays that Tom Brady used in New England, and he did a great job. I mean, he stood in the pocket, he took the rush, he took a bunch of hits. I think they've got them a quarterback there that's going to help them for years to come.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think he's one of the better young quarterbacks in the league, it looks like right now. But yeah, Belichick, you would think he should know how to stop Brady, right? I mean, he coached him for all these years.
That's right.
I mean, kudos for him for I guess going out on a limb and doing something completely different here, but. I would hope he would know how to have an insight. If anybody does, it would be him.
Right. But you would also expect Brady to have an insight to Belichick's mind, right? A little bit?
That's true. But even if Brady knew going in, okay, he's going to change the defense on me every play. You don't know what's going to be.
Right.
It's still confusing to you. I mean, you might know what to expect, but,
right. And Belichick knows this is going to sound weird, but Belichick knows whatever weaknesses Brady has, right? Yeah. So he knows what to exploit.
And I think Brady had kind of a good comment. I think I heard him say something to the effect after the game of he knows now why it's so hard to go in there and win games all these years. Now he has to do it.
That's right.
He realizes now why it's so hard. But I think I'm looking at the box score. I think maybe the biggest difference of the game is that Tampa Bay had 120 yards total rushing. Mm-hmm. New England had -1.
Right. They couldn't run the ball at all. Yeah. I
mean, that right there is pretty much the key. A game that's 2-point difference, that's kind of the key to the game.
Right.
They didn't even really try to. They had 8 carries, New England.
Well, they couldn't do it. The Buccaneers were taking it away. I mean, there's just no way.
The Bucs have a good defense.
They have a great defense.
They're the best team in the league right now. I mean,
yeah, I agree with that. And they also just signed who did they sign? Well, they signed Richard Sherman. He played Monday night or Sunday night.
Gilmore, did they sign Gilmore?
I think they traded for Gilmore, I think.
Let me see here.
Somebody traded for him.
That was the Panthers.
Traded for Gilmore. That's right. Yeah. One little side note, little interesting side note is by beating the Patriots Sunday night, Brady became the 4th quarterback in history to have beaten all 32 teams in the NFL. The other ones were Drew Brees, Peyton Manning, and Brett Favre. And that makes sense, right? Because Favre played most of his career with the Packers, but then went to the Vikings and beat the Packers.
Right.
Manning played most of his career with the Colts, then went to the Broncos and beat the Colts. And Drew Brees played most of his career with the Saints, but he did play with the Chargers, and then came back and beat the Chargers. So, it really interesting stat there, which only applies to a quarterback who has longevity and has changed teams at least once, right? Which is unusual for those kind of guys.
Yeah. I saw that on Instagram. That was pretty impressive. Yeah. I never really thought of that, but that makes sense that Brady has beaten every team but the Patriots. That makes sense.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Now he's beating the Patriots. So
well, you take a guy like Eli Manning, right? I mean, Eli Manning was but he's never beat the Giants, right?
Like you said, like those 3 guys, Peyton, Favre, and Brees, they played most of the Grizzlies with one team, but they switched teams.
Right, exactly.
That's how you get to do that, yeah.
Exactly. And if Aaron Rodgers goes somewhere else next year, he'll probably join that category. Yeah. That's right.